TBISE. So, we got another fight coming up. Where the Can Man, Agent the Problem Broner is fighting Philly's own Blair Cobbs. What do you think about that fight? What do you who you think is going to win that match, and what do you expect?
Great fight, man. I really respect Blair, man. I watched him grow, come up in the gym, grow, come up out of Schulers and the amateurs and work his way all the way up. He was in Joanne's gym. I watched him, and he willed his way into that position, in certain fights that they thought that he wasn't never going to win, he won. So, I mean, it's a good fight. And it's to me, it's a winnable fight. I mean, I look at Blair like, Rocky Balboa, fighting Apollo Creed, and when I'm watching the commentation and all that, it reminds me of the Rocky Balboa, the first movie, Rocky 1, like, yo, we taking this bum, we gonna pick him in Apollo, yo, this is my comeback and I'm gonna look good doing it. Okay, we all know Broner can fight, so he reminds me of Apollo, but then nobody don't know how Blair is gonna perform, and he comes back and he shocks and shakes the world up. And that kid, he's been a spoiler.
Yeah. So, to be honest, I'm looking forward to this fight. I think that it's, like I mentioned before, I think it's kind of like a 50-50 fight. Of course, if you look at the accolades and you look at the career and the opponents, you would probably pick Floyd. I mean, I'm sorry, not Floyd. You would pick Adrian Broner based off of his accolades and his accomplishments. But Broner has been away from the sport for a while. He's been got a lot of ups and downs, and he lost a lot of big fights. Does he still
Only
have it?
two.
We don't know.
Only two.
Well, I'm saying
I really feel like, but to piggyback off of that, it's only the reason why we feel that way is behind the fact that he was so talented, right?
Yeah.
And he's probably by far the most in terms of comparison to Floyd. And people always felt like, and they still feel like, he was better than Floyd, and that's when you make them comparisons and different things, when it goes down the line, right? You can have all the skills in the world, but we always say that what we do outside of the ring always catches up. And that's what Floyd ate and slept at. Bernard ate and slept. They're gym rats.
Exactly.
It's one thing about being a skilled fighter, and there's another thing about you will your way into being a skilled fighter. I always believe that. Bernard was only, C fighter, right? He was durable. He was strong, right?
Bernard?
Yes, well, I'm going to tell you something, right? His work ethic made him an A fighter, and he learned, right? And he was always a student of the game, and he's gotten better and better and better each time, and he always worked on and honed on his skill. Kobe would tell you the same thing. It was the Mamba mentality. Kobe was probably a C play, ball, right? He learned the knowledge. He had the knowledge. He applied. But what made and set him apart was the fact of the practice. And he always said that. And one day he said, and he shared that in his memoir, if he took 1,000 shots every day, right, off the court, and he do it repetitiously, he said throughout the year, every day, right, and it's 365 days in a year, right, time that end of the year come, right, he'll be that much sharper because he was skilled in terms of taking these shots every day. He did 1,000 shots, each shot, jump shot, foul shot, every shot 1,000 times, right? He knew it like the back of his hand, when the other basketball players only went and they worked out during the practice and then summer camp. They, they partied and everything. So when that season came, Kobe was lighting them up. Floyd the same way. Now Floyd, the difference between him and like a Bernard, like you said early on, Floyd would go to the clubs and everything because Vegas was that, and he understood the difference of the mechanics. I can't sell a fight if I'm a robot. See, I think this new generation of fighters, they rely on the Instagram posts, they rely on PBC, they rely on all these other gadgets, but except investing in themselves.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to sell the fights. They thinking the jury, the car, I call it the Mayweather kit. I'm going to get the Mayweather kit and I'm going to go out, right? And yeah, I got these bodyguards and everything. I just said this to 2 other young fighters. I said, I see you with the Mayweather kit. You got a new car. You got dudes standing around you trying to gooning. And then you got the jury and you got the women. But what are you selling? Because when we walk down the street, more people know me than they know you. And I had that same conversation subsequently with Scooter, right? And I told him before the fight, and, sometimes, and he had to come back to me, this is a real story, right? Before the fight was announced, right, I seen Scooter, and we was at a Sixers game. And I knew Scooter since he, come up, right? I watched him grow. And I'm like, yo. And he was like, yeah, he told me personally, yo, I got this fight, and we fighting in Japan, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, yo, man, I want to go. He was like, yeah, see, he put me on, see my manager and all that, and they laughing. I said, man, I'm going to go, and I want to support you. My eyes is going to be I want to document this moment, right? He was like, all right, Punch, we can do that. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to camp in L.A. I said, all right, cool. They had Tank was fighting in Vegas. And I said, well, all right, well, I'm going to go see Tank. And then after that, I'm coming to L.A. So I'm, calling, trying to get with them. Well, they believe they got it all, right? Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying to him at that moment, yeah, naturally, when you don't lose and you never lost, even in your amateurs, you lost one time, but you never lost. I know he feeling in himself like, who is he to be telling me what should I be doing, right? Mm-hmm. I'm the champ and I got it, right? And so, yeah, I got that. So I'm saying to him, I'm like, yo, yeah, you're a legitimate millionaire. Why don't you take this money or a portion of this money and get a billboard on 95? Why nobody don't really know who you are and when you fighting, right? Yeah. You need to invest in yourself. You worry about PBC. And none of them, they all, if you look at this local thing and we talking about the scene, they look, and PBC put that one post up and then they might put you on TV and you do an interview and they post you and you, yeah. But you got to do the advertisement and promotion on yourself. Sure. So he didn't invest in himself. He go and fight. And then nobody really knows because it's early in the morning. And then, unfortunately, he loses. So now you come back to the city and they looking like, yo, what's up? And, you just had the jury, the Mayweather kid and all this and that, you know what I mean, talking heavy. It was really an eye-opener, right? And so when we seen each other, right, he came in, and I'm like, damn, you still the champ to me. And he just hugged me, like, yo, and when he embraced me, it was like, man, Punch, you know what I mean? Not saying you right because, we always hard, but he basically said like, damn, man, I'm sorry, man. He did tell me that, like, yo, Punch, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And I had to humbly accept that. He was like, my bad, man, because, in his mind, he felt like, yo, it could never end, and who are you to be telling me about, but I'm only giving you game because I'm in the room. Some people don't get in the room. They just, the barbershop talk. Yeah. See, the difference between me, I'm really in the room. I'm around, you know what I mean, the top of the top, right? And I'm not just sneaking in and listening. I know what's going on. So when you took, you know what I mean, when I'm speaking to you and I got a right to say, or just mind my business, because it's not really my business. So when I take a situation to you and I'm like, yo, man, what you think? I never forgot I had the same conversation with J-Rock, right?
Yeah.
I seen J-Rock a month before, 2 months before his fight. And I'm like, yo, champ, what's going on? He's like, oh, man, I'm in camp and everything. I said, damn, that's good. I said, how them ticket sales looking, right? And he looked at me crazy, like, man, what you know what I mean? Talk, that ain't my job, man. My job is fighting. That ain't your job. You asked for being in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? How them ticket sales looking?
Yeah.
Who you got on the undercard? I don't know. I'm trying to do. So you controlled the card, right? So peep how it went. So I see him. It's 2 months before the fight. So I see him a week of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then he come to a award show and he make an appearance. I said, damn, it's good to see you. How you feeling? You ready? Yeah, I'm good. And I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm seeing even how the press run is going. They ain't even putting it. He got all the intentions on PBC.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam Watts come to the city, he here. And I'm sitting in the room with Sam. Sam called me, said, you know, they call me Tyson. Tyson, come here, man. I said, well, what's going on? He said, man, how many people can you get down here, man? I got a boxing gym and I work with the kids at risk youth. So I'm like, man, I got like 50 kids. So man, he goes 75 tickets. I want to see them downstairs. Man, that ain't no problem. How many kids can you get? I'm gonna give you 100 tickets. You sure? As long as them seats is filled, better than be out there selling them tickets. Damn, y'all ain't selling them tickets? So I looked at it at the press conference. I'm like, damn, y'all ain't sell. Your eyes is bigger than your stomach. That's a different part of the game. See, at the end of the day, right, they can talk about the shit, right? They can talk all this shit they want. But they know outside of that, I was a marketing genius. And that's one thing that you can't take away from me. Any boxer will tell you that. Yo, you know One Punch? That motherfucker can market his ass off. So if anything, they should have been calling me. So when I'm telling you, I could mind my business. Man, J-Rock was cool. So I'm like, damn, I'm giving you a game because this is Philly. Same thing I gave to Scooter. Yeah. Right? So I had this conversation, and this is a tangent real fast. Jake Paul. Oh, man, is it real boxing? Man, it ain't real boxing. We get ready to fight Mike Tyson for more than most of y'all ever making your whole career, right? Even y'all prize fighting. And y'all saying they ain't real boxing. But guess what? The difference between y'all and them is what? They're marketing geniuses.
This episode of TBISE is brought to you by Mecca Care LLC. Mecca Care LLC giving you an abundance of what you need. They're a home care agency located in the Philadelphia area, Montgomery County, Chester County, Bucks County, and Philadelphia County. As I mentioned, if you're looking to get home care services for your loved one, call 215-644-8341. That's 215-644-8341. And it's Mecca Care LLC, located at 5025 Germantown Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 1944. If you're looking for home care services for your loved one, contact Mecca Care LLC, giving you an abundance of what you need. It's 215-644-8341. That's 215-644-8341. Yeah, they both themselves. They put
the
themselves
same
out there.
thing that I am, right?
Yeah.
And Mike understands that. And anybody else that got there got in the ring with them. So all the other ones are sitting around and they talking about boxing, but they saving boxing right now at this point because people will pay for that before they pay for your fight. So what makes you think you can be the toughest on the block? That's like a street rapper, right? I'm on the street. You want to be on the corner saying I'm the best street rapper, or you want to sell records? You ain't selling no records. All them freestyles ain't saying you're a starving artist. That's what I keep talking about, starving artists. So now, back to J-Rock, when he had his first defense, he asked to fight in Philadelphia. Your first defense, boom, it's empty out there.
That's a fight he lost.
And he lost.
Yeah.
and they never brought him back. So I looked at it and said, whoa, here, you looked at me, I'm just Punch. I'm doing this. Cool, that's your way. All right? I don't have no fight with you, right? But if I gave you some information, you got a right to receive it or don't, right? But I bet you later on in life he thought about it and he thinks about it and said, damn, man, he did tell me because that was your business. You told me that ain't my business. I ain't worrying about the ticket sales. So here we are right now when we're looking at Jariah Ennis and weeks leading up to that. Yeah, the pre-sales, but the Wells Fargo was one of the most biggest places, you know, in Philadelphia history. You know, the last person that sold that out and the last person that fought there was Iron Mike Tyson. And he could have fought anywhere in the world, right? Atlantic City, Atlanta. Mike chose that place, right? This is the home and Declaration of Independence. He chose it. It was chosen. You know what I mean? His second fight coming from prison, right? And nobody has ever, Bernard Hopkins haven't even fought there. So I could see Boots. I'm like, yo, that's big for you. But you know, and nobody else even fought there. Now we came back and probably a month or two ago, they had a fight here at the Delia Core Center. Yeah. The return of Jesse Hart. Mm-hmm. And a couple other fights. Man, that shit was a janaza. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for the email to put the people in the ground. And that's no disrespect to the promoters and everything, but they eyes was bigger than their stomach, right? You know, Jesse's a personal friend of mine. I got love for him.
From the Shula gym as well. I remember seeing him in the Shula,
Yeah. That's a real homie, right? And all the ones that was on the card, but they didn't sell it.
Was that top rank? Was it top rank?
No, it was a local promoter, Teflon Boxing. Shout out to them. Teflon, that's my man. You know what I mean? Champions make chances. They take chances. So, you know, for him to say, yo, I want to do my first card at, you know, Learcore Center in the heart of North Philadelphia, whoa, I salute you. All of them. Then we going to get on there. It was well put together, but, you know, like, the people got to show up.
Yeah.
You know, all these people in terms of, see, what I learned, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get out the way, right? What I've learned about this thing here, right, and this is the difference between the separation with me and a lot of other people. Yeah, it's the ones that, it's the false sense of self, right? When you get the likes on Instagram and then you ain't really out in these streets, right? Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I got my block behind me, right? Yeah, block don't mean they gonna support you. You know what I mean? And May, yeah, we got a lot of people that love us, but ain't nobody buying in May, you know what I mean, platters. Ain't nobody, you know what I mean, going on, oh, I like her cooking, yeah, but yeah, it takes a lot. I don't see a million people that's running around with these T-shirts, with these merch. I had a brand, so I know about marketing. I know about the trials and tribulations. I know about it. So when I'm looking at all these young fighters, there's very few of them that I could say that can generate and sell.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, you heard it, you know, Simon One Punch, man, you know,
all exclusive,
he broke it down, man.
Exclusive.
So, you know,
yeah,
this is going to be an exclusive interview on TBISE. You know, this is it's food for thought, man. So, you know, one of the key things I heard him mention within the interview was, you know, was betting on yourself.
Yes.
You gotta always remember to bet on yourself. You know, everything you do. I take that approach with what I do. TBISE is an example of betting on yourself. And Simon One Punch Carr, he just dropped it on everybody. So, you know, you see that. We heard that rather than you see it. You heard it from the horse's mouth. You know, so
only one. Well, before we go, I'm gonna say this. Only one that I felt like, yo, that really bet on himself, right, was Danny Garcia, right? And not to say none of them else wasn't skilled enough or anything. Danny was different, right? And Danny understood it. That's why he's probably the most paid, you know, outside of Bernard Hopkins, right? Philadelphia fighter, yeah. Right? And the crazy thing about it, I'm going to tell you this story, right? I'm in L.A., So that's what I'm saying is different. I'm in our office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not, some people don't see Al. They, you know, when you get in there, they thank the Lord. I want to thank my Lord and Savior, and then they thank Al Haymon before they give their shout out to their mother. Some of them praise Al Haymon before they thank God, right? But anyway, I'm in the office, the real office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they like, yo, Tice, what you think? Right? I said, who? They said, yo, it's just Puerto Rican or like kid with these green eyes in Philly. Fuck is that? It's a fighter, you know, Philly, going back and forth. So who? Hey, green eyes, Philly, you know. It's who? It's a Garcia kid. I said, oh, Danny, right? And he said, yeah. Can he fight? I said, yeah, Danny can fight. He said, let me ask you this. You think he worth $1 million? I said, yeah, I can see it. And he said, that's what they asked for, right?
Yeah.
He said, you know, then they asked for a house. So I ain't buying them no house, but I'll give him an opportunity to get $1 million.
This is Al Haymon saying this.
To me, I'm in the room, not no second hand. I flew back to Philadelphia, and I told Danny, I said, Danny, you asked for $1 million? He's like, oh, yeah. That's what he called Angel. And they came over in the huddle. And they said, you asked Al Haymon for $1 million? No, they laughing. How you know? They the only conversation. They was the only one in the room. So how would I know the information? Nobody. If me and you the only one in the room, right? If you didn't tell me, then that mean I got it from the horse's mouth. That's what I said to him. He said, ooh, damn, Punch a little more powerful than we thought we was. I said, well, keep your phone on. They're going to give you an opportunity. They said they ain't going to buy you no house, but they're going to give you an opportunity to make, you know what I mean, make you $1 million. You can buy your own house. And they laughed and said, yeah. I said, well, keep your phone there. And they got the fight.
Was it American? Or what fight was that? Okay, so he knocked Americano with the no look left.
And then he got Matisse.
Yeah, then he beat Matisse, yeah. Everybody was scared of Matisse.
And he made
$4
million in less than a year.
Wow.
That's a true a One Punch story. And I was right there. And I ain't asked for a dime. He ain't, you know, throw me a pair of boxing gloves or a DSG shirt or anything. We was personal friends. That's my man. But, I mean, you know, how would I know that? I wouldn't have knew that. Nobody ever told you that. And I ain't hang around Danny. We good friends. And we, you know, we come up and all that. And I've given him a lot of jewels. And he'll tell you to this day, man, Punch really helped me a lot. And that's what I be talking about to a lot of these other fighters, man. I ain't come in a room, you know, and want anything from them or hang around them and anything. When we in Vegas, I go and see them on different things, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't really, like, you know, kick it. And I'm like, yo, one day I had to really tell Danny Danny at a fight. Yeah, we was at a Floyd Mayweather fight, and you know, I flew in town, flew there, and Danny was moving around. I think he was doing the press run for his fight, and you know, he was coming. He came and he embraced me, showed me love, and they was in there, but they was kind of giving me a hard way to go, and you know, and I ain't want nothing from him, so they went on, right? But we never really like. We kicked it because we come up together. So I'm like, yo, man, like I had to pull him aside and say, listen, man, we Philly. Regardless of what, man. You know, like we won't really hang with each other, but I'm you know what I mean, I'm very protective of you, man. You know what I mean? Whether you know it or not, right? I always keep an eye on you.
Correct.
You say, no, Punch, you know what I mean? I know, right? I said, yeah. So, you know, vice versa, man. If I'm going through some stuff or they giving me a hard way to go. You supposed to like, nah, man, that's my man.
Yeah.
Not, I ain't with him or whatever. We ain't come together, but like this still Philly. Like I don't care about none of the dudes that surround you or what you with. Me and you have this bond.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Because if anybody giving you a hard way to go that's around me, they gotta go. So we not gonna play this game. And after that conversation, we was always real straight. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of love over there. I don't come around asking for nothing. I don't want nothing from him. You know what I mean? I just want him to do good. And he has done good. Tremendous champion, a 4-time champion and family man and everything and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, well, shout out to Danny Garcia. Shout out to all the fighters in Philadelphia. Shout out to all the fighters around the world. So this is TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. Thanks for tuning in for this exclusive interview.
Yes, yes.
Quality over compromise is not a brand, it's a lifestyle. Element. Shout out to Holloman. So it's quality over compromise. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.